Let's start by reading through the question and highlighting important information. Bradley is planning to build a rectangular raised garden in his backyard. He has 34 feet of plastic edging that he wants to use to build the perimeter of the garden. He knows that the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is perimeter equals 2L plus 2W, where P is perimeter, L equals length, and W equals width. He would like to figure out what the length and width of the garden should be if he wants to use all of the plastic edging. So, since Bradley knows he has 34 feet of plastic edging to use for the perimeter, he rewrites the equation as twice the length plus twice the width equals 34. So 34 is the amount of plastic edging he has for the perimeter of the garden, and that will be 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So let's just make a little picture of this first. So he has some sort of rectangular garden, okay? And the edging goes on the perimeter, which is the outside. Now let's see, I'm going to make up an example. Say that this was 1 foot. I think they're measured in feet, yes. And this was 1 foot. Well, that would be 2 feet of fencing that he would use. And then there'd be another 34 minus 2 is 32 feet for the other 2 sides. And since there's 2 sides, you'd have to divide that in half. And you would have a garden that has dimensions of 1 foot and 16 feet. So notice we haven't really started on the problem. I just want you to get a picture of what's going on here with this formula. So 2 times the length, well, that's because opposite sides of rectangles are the same. The perimeter is the sum of all these lengths. So when it's 1, this would be 2 times 1. Plus 2 times the width, well, that would be 16 in this case. I found the amount that would give us exactly 34. And 16 and 16 is 32. So that's where the 2W comes from. So this is what he wants to figure out. So this is one possible garden that he could make where he'd use exactly 34 feet of plastic edging. So our goal is to use this idea given different values for the length or the width and finding the corresponding value. So let's start with the first one. Well, we know that 2 times the length plus 2 times the width equals 34, and we're given a length of 2. So I'm going to replace, I'll write L equals 2, and we want to find what the corresponding width is. And we're actually going to use a similar process that we used here, except it's going to be more algebraic. So we're going to replace the L with 2. Be a 3. So the length was 2. That's 4 feet for the length. So that would be, just using this would be 2 here and 2 here. And now we need to see what goes here and here. That would be the width. Well, we used 4 of the 34 feet on the length, so now we're going to subtract that. So twice the width will equal 30. So that means we have 30 feet left for this side and this side. Well, since there's 2 sides, we'll need to divide the 30 by 2. And notice 2 times W equals 30. Well, divide both sides by 2, and we get a width of 15. And let's just check that here. Make sure it checks. So if these were 15, our perimeter of our rectangular garden would be 2 and 2 is 4, 15 and 15 is 30, and 30 plus 4 is 34. So it checks. Let's skip to this one. You can try this one on your own. It's the same process except you replace L with 3. Let's do one where we're given the width. So again, we'll start with 2L plus 2W equals 34. But now we're given a width of 12. Okay. So now we're just going to replace W with 12. So 2L plus 2 times 12 equals 34. So now 2 times 12 is 24, so 24 feet of fence will be used for the width. Now we want to subtract that 24 from the total plastic edging we bought. So minus 24 from each side means that 2 times the length will equal 10. So we have, after the width of 12 totaling 24, after we use that for the fencing, we have 10 feet left for the length. And the length has 2 sides, so that means we have to divide these both by 2, so we're sharing that 10 feet with the 2 equal sides, and we get a length equal to 5 feet. Okay. So this shows you the general process. For this one, you would replace the length with 3, and for this one, you would replace the width with 8. And notice it doesn't really matter which one we call the length and the width, but they're defined clearly in this problem, so you should use the ones you use. So we could also have a rectangle that looks like this, and we could call this the length of 15 and the width of 2, and we'd get the same result. So just use the numbers they gave you to replace them and solve for the missing value.